Trump is talking about abortion? Well, the New York Times is reporting that he likes the idea of a national ban on abortion past 16 weeks of pregnancy, with exceptions for rape, incest, and the saving the life of a mother. Now, Trump has veered away from taking a firm stance on abortion during his presidential campaign, though he has taken credit for the U.S. Supreme Court's 2022 overturning of Roe v. Wade, since he appointed 3 justices who took part in that decision. He's also suggested that Republicans who take extreme stances on abortion lose elections. All right, I want to start with you, Michael. You know, he is talking perhaps behind closed doors about this abortion issue. Sounds like he really doesn't want to take a chance to really come full throttle, not during the campaigning, because it is such a hot button issue. What are your thoughts on him perhaps talking behind closed doors about how he sees abortion and how it should play out?
Donald Trump can't keep Nancy Pelosi and Nikki Haley straight. He's taken credit for overturning Roe versus Wade. When he ran for president in 2016, he said he will only nominate Supreme Court justices who would overturn Roe versus Wade. The evangelicals held their nose and voted for this criminal because they knew that he would overturn Roe versus Wade. And in fact, I watched, I covered this story dealing with the 2016 election week after week after week when I was on 9, 10 a.m. WFDF, okay? And I was on the morning show on Thursdays, Wake Up with Steve Hood, and I had my show, the Advocacy Network show, Sundays. I watched about 100 campaign speeches that Donald Trump gave. I also watched numerous focus groups and watched numerous interviews with Trump supporters. They overwhelmingly said this election is about the Supreme Court. They said it's about the Supreme Court, and they said it's about the federal bench, because they had a better understanding of all this. So now, because all this is backfiring on them, the Republican Party is the dog that caught the car. OK, now that they've got Roe versus Wade overturned, and now it's costing them in these special elections, in these primaries. Now he wants to say, oh, now support a 16-week abortion ban. OK, now the trick here is when they say they support to save the life of the mother, and they support these exceptions. How hard is it, or how easy is it to get these exceptions accepted? Because oftentimes they say we have these exceptions, but it's so hard, or the law is so vague. You have doctors who don't want to be sued if they do the wrong thing. So in essence, you have exceptions, but you really don't in many cases. So this is why this traitor has to be stopped at the ballot box, period. The only person that can stop him is Joe Biden. OK? It takes 270 electoral college votes. Biden got 306. Biden got 81 million popular votes, period. That's it. OK, so this is what we have to wrap our heads around and do the work and make sure we stop this threat in this totalitarian slide into dictatorship, which is Donald Trump and the Republican Party.
Matt, what are your thoughts about Trump bringing this up potentially, but not really full throttle out in the public?
You know, I think a little bit like Future, we got to take the mask off, because I think a presidential candidate, I had to reach, who's not a a person in a judicial capacity. I wonder how much of this is actually a true policy point, and how much of it is the GOP wanting to bring in votes of people that they think may not be energized to vote because of the ruling in Roe v. Wade. Because for 50 years, the Republican Party made abortion its seminal issue, or one of its seminal issues in its platform. So now that the issue is theoretically settled, I wonder how much of this is them trying to drum it back up or put it back in people's minds to leverage fear mongering to say, you need this policy position on this, because otherwise the Democrats or the left or the whomever are going to come and try to reinstitute this. Because particularly what's interesting about Mr. Trump is, as we know, I mean, he's very often trumpets whatever he feels, right? Sometimes to the chagrin of his advisors. So for this to be something that's not out there, I wonder how much of it is kind of more dipping their toe in the water to see how they leverage that from a voter perspective, a get out the vote perspective, more so than a true policy point. And that's really kind of my opinion on it. I think it might be more about driving votes than it is about really being tied to any one policy.
And Kelly, it seems certainly like a strategy on his part, been hush-hush for a little bit. making a difference in his campaign trail? What are your thoughts?
I think that this man is a thug. Like, he's a crook, and crooks tend to basically do whatever it takes in order to get to what they want. I don't think that, I personally do not think that Trump has actual policy in mind. I think he goes where he thinks he's going to win. I wholeheartedly believe that if he thought that getting on a Democratic ticket and touting those talking points would get him into the White House, I think he'd do it. And we would have this same situation over on the Democrat side. So when it comes to this abortion issue, frankly, I don't think he cares. I think he just wants to win. It is just unfortunate that women's bodies, women's health has been so tokenized and politicized, such that it is a talking point and a voting matter, such that if you think one way or the other about it, that's basically how the vote is going to go for whichever candidate is on that side.
All right, well, we will see if he comes out of the dark into the light on this issue, something certainly that we'll be following.
A new year for a new you. Curl Prep Natural Hair Solutions at curlprep.com is an amazing organic line for curls, locks, braids, twists, and even those wigs and extensions. Women, men, and children are loving this line. Look at this video and you be the judge. People line up to see this product in action at hair shows, and when they take a seat and try it, they don't believe it's their hair. Buy the products at curlprep.com. It works on all hair types. Use code Roland, that's ROLAND, lowercase letters, to get a 15% discount. Parents, remove the ouch. You will love this system because you can comb the product through your child's hair with your fingers. Seasoned saints are loving the product. It's all at curlprep.com. Use code Roland, lowercase letters, to get a 15% discount. You won't believe it's your hair.
Give me that bass, give me that beat. Hit on your tongue, I can feel an explosion. I'll take another if we keep it going. Open it up, give a toast to the moment. Open